Budweiser. Reach for the perfect combination of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by U.S. Cellular. U.S. Cellular, believe in something better. There's Jim Riggleman. Of course, once an employee of the Cardinals, Mr. Riggleman took over for Manny Acta as manager on the 13th of July, 56 years old. He's from an area right outside of the District of Columbia, and the third manager of the Mats, following Frank Robinson, of course, and Acta. Here's their lineup for today.
Willie Harris is the leadoff batter today, and he is playing because Niger Morgan had a broken hand on Thursday, and he's been a big part of this lineup as we look at Adam Wainwright and his warm-up tosses. Wainwright has been outstanding, the ERA at 2.5, and the control just keeps getting better and better for Wainwright. His last 5 outings, only 3 walks combined.
Wainwright going for number 16 as we look at the Cardinal defensive alignment.
Rasmus gets to start in center today. He's started to swing the bat a little better. And Keel in right. And Khalil Green will start instead of Mark DeRosa, who was a late scratch. DeRosa having a little bit of issues with his wrist, but he is available off the Cardinal bench.
And here is Harris to lead it off. And he strikes one into center field. Rasmus under it and makes the play. The Washington Nationals opening the game today with a 46-84 record. Here's Christian Guzman, 7-game hitting streak working for him right now, batting .304. Guzman from Santo Domingo. 66 degrees. Very pleasant here and cool at the ballpark. And you see boys coming in from the pen. Mock, the starter for them today. Guzman batting a 143 against Wainwright in his career. Switch hitter, takes a strike.
Wainwright off to a good start. Bobblehead day here today at the ballpark, and it's also his 28th birthday.
Hot shot out to second. Play made in fine fashion by Schumacher. There's the bobblehead.
I noticed the bobblehead has a little facial hair on it, which I thought was interesting. I think when they made the bobblehead, they realized that was kind of a Cardinal thing that was going on with all the pitchers. And a little scruffy, and Wainwright a little scruffy today. I wonder if he'll shave on his birthday.
The folks are happy to receive that nice gift today. Ryan Zimmerman stands in with 2 out. Zimmerman batting .302. Leads the Nationals in home runs with 27, which is a career high for him. From Washington, North Carolina, a graduate of the University of Virginia, like the gentleman sitting right alongside me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Signed a very lucrative contract, $45 million over 5 years with Washington.
He's really their cornerstone player. Now, this is a good hitting Nationals lineup. They're 5th in the National League in batting average, and they've got some guys with pop, not just Zimmerman, but Adam Dunn, Josh Willingham's having a good year. But Zimmerman's the best of all of them.
The 1-2 pitch. Ooh, that just missed. Cubs play the Mets up in Chicago today. That game getting underway in about 3 minutes. We'll keep you apprised of that action. full count. Reds are leading LA in Cincinnati in the 5th, 2-1. San Diego over the Marlins in Florida 3-0, 4th inning. Wainwright only 1 walk in August. And this pitching staff, the fewest walks in the major leagues. Chopper out to Ryan. 1-2-3. First inning. No score.
The lineup, Tony La Russa going with the 2 left-handers against the right-hander Mock, and Khalil Green again getting the start at third base. Yadier Molina back in the lineup, and Garrett Mock is our pitcher for the Washington Nationals. He has probably the best stuff of any of the starters on the National staff, and if he gets going, he gets better. So one of our keys we talked about is the Cardinals getting to him quickly as we look at the Nationals defensively.
Schumacher batting .297. Takes a strike. The plate umpire today is Scott Berry. Tom Hallion, the crew chief, at first. Ron Culpa at second, and Brian O'Nora is at third. One ball and 1 strike. Fans still coming in on this Sunday afternoon. Schumacher 5 for 15 on the homestand. Couple of doubles last night. And a swing and a miss.
Ron Culpa is our second base umpire here this afternoon. He's from St. Louis, and we've noted in this series he was behind home plate in game 1. Very good ball strike umpiring in this series, both games. Both he on the Friday night game and Brian O'Nora, the third base umpire today, he was outstanding yesterday. Pretty liberal strike zone, Jay, but that's the way it ought to be.
Schumacher starting at second for the 101st time this season, strikes out.
Well, Mock has an 11-7 curveball, not exactly 12-6. It moves more in on a left-hander, away from a right-hander. But that's a pretty nasty curveball there. That's probably his signature pitch. He also has a good changeup. Sometimes is the best way Ray Knight explained it. There are times where his changeup is a dominant pitch. He had 5 strikeouts in one game, all with changeup. So Cardinals are hoping he does not establish that pitch this afternoon.
Here is Rasmus. He is 4 for 19 on the homestand at the 3-run blast last night here. That was a real shot he hit here last evening, wasn't it? In the top 10, I think.
444 feet. one of the longest home runs hit at the new Busch Stadium.
That's inside.
And we saw him go deep in San Diego as well, and that's one of the longest home runs hit in their ballpark.
Second among the rookies in the league with 14 home runs now and 44 RBIs. Here's a shot to right. Dukes is there. Just got under it. Garrett Mock, in his last 3 outings, has had control problems. As you can see, the base on balls statistic all the way to the right there.
Yeah, but the best part of that graphic is that he beat the Cubs in his last outing. He got a lot of run support, however. He won that game 15-6. But Jim Riggleman believes that he's got a real chance of being a good starting pitcher for them for a number of years if he can get a little more consistent. Of course, that's true of all young pitchers.
That catches the corner. Albert batting .319. His 8th career walk-off home run, of course, here on Friday night. His first since '06. Albert 6 for 16 on this homestand. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mock is from Houston. Went to the University of Houston for a couple of years. Majored in kinesiology. Very bright young man. Traded to Washington in the Livan Hernandez deal in '06. Full count. I mentioned this fellow's pitched very well on the road. He's 2-0 on the road in 4 starts. And been in a total of 10 games on the road. Albert pops it up. Zimmerman, the third baseman, makes the play, and the Birds are down 1-2-3 after an inning. No score. Adam Dunn standing in as we remind you Sunday's game day here on News Channel 5. Our next broadcast Sunday the 13th. Atlanta will be here. The Cards and the Braves get together. Coverage begins at 12:30 right here on your home of the Cardinals, News Channel 5. And I wonder if John Smoltz will get to go against his old mates.
Won't that be something?
As for the appeal at third, and Honora says no, he didn't go around. 1 ball and 1 strike to Adam Dunn, leading off, second inning, no score. Dunn, the big bopper, 29 years old, from Houston, Texas. of your keys to the game, of course, was to keep this guy quiet today.
He's got a good understanding of the strike zone. His average higher than it normally is, 283, and curveball from Wainwright will be coming into him. So dangerous matchup for the Cardinals.
And the play made as the shift was on, you'll note there. Ryan making the play as he was to the second base side of second base.
An interesting shift they put on Dunn. You've got the third baseman Green really playing shortstop, and this is a ground ball to second handled by the shortstop, and it's backed up by the second baseman who was playing shallow right field. But it really helped out in game one of this series when Dunn hit a bullet to Julio Lugo, and Lugo was able to throw him out from shallow right.
Josh Willingham at the plate. He's batting .291. Willingham from Florence, Alabama, now 30 years old, came over from Florida in 2008. Two-time All-American, the University of Northern Alabama. That gets by. Foul outside of third. Willingham hit 2 home runs and 6 RBIs in Tuesday's win at Chicago. It's a big day for him.
And he's been a big plus for Jim Riggleman. He really wasn't starting very much when we saw them last, Jay, and really put up some big power numbers.
The strikeout. Scott Berry is the plate umpire. First strikeout for Adam Wainwright.
Very animated strike 3 too. I like the big zone, and I like the you're out. Little Enrico Palazzo.
Elijah Dukes standing in. And he is hit by the pitch. That one got away.
Dukes has swung the bat very well in this series. He's shown up the Cardinals before, and he coincidentally gets hit in the ribs.
Friday he had that 3-hit game.
I'm not sure if Wainwright threw at him on purpose or not, but that's a big dude to be throwing at. On purpose or not.
Here's a young man who's had a great series here. Pete Orr batting .714 since his return. Orr is a Canadian from Richmond Hill, Ontario. Played for Team Canada in '04 in the Olympics. Originally debuted in the majors in 2005 with Atlanta.
Orr's had a nice series. Looks like he's got something on his index finger of his right hand. Could be a cushion. Tom Herr used to use one on his thumb, and he called it a thumb guard, and a lot of players used that in the 80s, and could be just to cushion the shock on his fingers.
1-1 pitch is foul.
When you get jammed or hit the ball off the end of the bat, there are times where you get little, boy, it feels like bees in your hand. It just starts aching, and there are times where you look for any cushion you can get, and perhaps that's what he's doing with that added padding on his batting glove.
Or with the 3 hits last night, a career best here. Hot shot. Schumacher throws on. An inning and a half has been played. No score.
talked to him earlier. He's inclined to wait until the end of the season. Will you start talking to his agent to try to get something done a little sooner?
No, I think what I have to do is recognize his patience in this. And the fact is, obviously, ever since we've acquired him, things have gone very well for this club and this organization. But we paid a steep price to get him. So obviously we want to find a way to keep him here. And if we have to wait a little while till we talk, we will.
How close are you with Ryan Franklin right now?
Boy, it's rumored to be out there, isn't it?
Yes.
But in all seriousness, hopefully we can get this thing wrapped up sometime this week. And we'd be very excited to extend him. So once we get the I's dotted and the T's crossed, we'll be ready to go.
Final thoughts, September call-ups. How many do you think we'll see? And will be a Troy Gloss has to be among that group, correct?
Well, yes. He tweaked his ankle last night, though, so we got to wait and see how he is. But I would suspect our clubhouse will be somewhere around 31 to 33 players. We want to make sure that we're not overflowing, and want to give some guys some opportunities.
John, we appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Frank.
All right, John Mosaic, let's send it back to Jay and Rick.
And Holiday flies out to Dukes in right field to begin this second inning. If you're just joining us, it's a scoreless game, and Rick Ankiel will come to the dish, batting .230. Ankiel starting in right field today.
And things, Jay, have gone so well for the Cardinals in the month of August, and as they get into September, and you're going to hear a lot more about the questions that Frank is talking to the general manager about, and extending contracts, et cetera, et cetera. And at some point, Tony La Russa's job is going to be to make sure his team avoids distraction. It happens every September with every team. And if you're in New York, it happens every week of the season. But in St. Louis, you get towards the end of the season, you can't have players thinking about, you know, I'm going to extend, you're going to extend, where's my contract? You can't be thinking about that. You got to think about winning baseball games. And even though the Cardinals enjoy a 9-game lead in the Central, they've got to keep the gas pedal down.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count. Ankiel carrying 75 strikeouts as he comes into this game. He has really struggled of late. Gets the walk. If you're traveling and can't catch the Cardinals television broadcasts, check out the action on your computer at MLB.tv. Catch over 100 live out-of-market games per week. For complete details, visit STLCardinals.com, where baseball is always on. And here's Khalil Green. Green starting at third this afternoon. 1 for 1 on the homestand. A game-tying pinch hit home run on Friday. Fouled away. The Cubs have scored in Chicago, and they're still batting in the bottom of the first. Now the game just went to the second inning. It's 1-0 Cubs over the New York Metropolitans.
You know, the Cubs have just as good a record as the Cardinals do in the division. If you look at the numbers, and where they've fallen is they've not played as well against the East and the West as the Cardinals have. They've played much better out of the division than the Cubs have. In fact, the Cubs have a slightly better record within the Central, but find themselves 9 games back.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Khalil Green. Throw over. Keel went down a little awkwardly there. He's okay. Birds are 40-25 here at home this year, and 15-11 against the East. Runner goes. Foul to the right side into the seats.
Big moment on Friday night for Khalil Green. His home run in the 8th inning tied the score for the Cardinals as he had a line drive just over the fence in left field and a pinch hit roll, and that really energized the crowd here, and he got a curtain call. not kind of his style to be a curtain call kind of guy, but recognizing the moment. Cardinal fans have really had fun at the ballpark this month, haven't they?
They sure have. That's fouled away, and of course Albert putting the capper on it Friday night with that walk-off bomb.
And again, talking about the distractions, and there are others, Jay. You talk about Loesch and Wellemeyer and how they're going to be used, and when they come off the disabled list, and all those things can be a distraction. But from my point of view, this is a fun time to be a Cardinal fan and be at the ballpark and enjoy. I mean, we need to be enjoying a team that's playing well.
And Khalil Green strikes out, the second strikeout for Mock. Oh, that gentleman right there, Les Groh, is 104 years old, or I should say 104 years young. How about that? Huge Cardinal fan. Glad to have him at the park today. Molina. Yachty batting .285.
And if he's 104, Jay, that means, if my math is right, he was born in 1905. And he was 21 years old the first time the Cardinals won the pennant in 1926 behind Rogers Hornsby.
So that he remembers.
How about that? That's a guy that really gets Cardinal history.
Yachty hits it out to Guzman. On to Orr at second. That'll do it. 2 innings by the boards at Busch. No score. Hospitality prime location, Hyatt Regency St. Louis Riverfront. Take advantage of their exclusive baseball package, overnight accommodations, your choice of 2 or 4 Cardinal tickets, complimentary Rawlings baseball bat, $10 food and beverage voucher, valid at Tiffany Rose or the Brewhouse restaurants. Check it all out at Hyatt Regency St. Louis Riverfront. And here is a single off the bat of Josh Bard, the catcher. A lot of folks having fun at the ballpark. Family day here, and that's the Coca-Cola Pavilion out there. Nice birthday party going on.
Wait a second. She's having a good talk there.
She's looking good. I am joined by the voice of the Cardinals, of course, Mike Shannon, for innings number 3 and 4. Good to be with you, Mike.
Oh, your Jennings okay?
Great, thanks.
How about this weather?
It's like fall, huh?
Unbelievable. I still think we're still in San Diego, aren't we?
Yeah, feels
beautiful.
Like it.
Wow, this weather has been unbelievable. And how about the Redbirds? Whew. 21 games over the 500 plateau.
Yes, they're going for 22 today. Garrett Mock with a 67 batting average.
This kid looks like he's got a chance of being a good pitcher.
He sure does. That's quite a movement on that curveball, isn't it?
Well, and he's shown us everything today. Yeah. And it looks like he's got a half an idea how to pitch. Let's take a look at the infield as they expect the bunt. Third baseman is Cahill Green. He's way in. The shortstop and the second baseman, you see both of them, they're shorting up for the double play ball.
And there's a strike right down the middle, and Mr. Mock didn't offer it that one.
He didn't. That was some curveball there, too. That left leg was a little weak, wasn't it?
I don't think he was quite expecting that.
Yeah.
0-2.
And he'll still be bunting with a 2-strike count. That would be my guess.
Swinging away.
Wrong again.
And the second strikeout for Adam Wainwright.
And that's why he should have been bunting.
Well, we come back to the top of the order. Willie Harris, who flied to center field in the first. This Washington team is 16-26 against Central teams this season. They are 19-45 on the road.
But what are they in the daytime?
They are 17-20.
You're right on, man. You're the best. I love it when you give me that data. The Cardinals are kind of wishy-washy, aren't they?
Just over at 23-22.
Boy, I couldn't believe that we had that many games in the daytime this year. And we're probably going to be over 50 before the year is complete.
Well,
definitely
we like day baseball.
I love it.
You know that.
Oh, man, that's why we like Chicago. Go back and have a nap and then get up and see how the night people work.
1 ball and no strike.
You miss half the world when you don't see that. Our old buddy Lee Ilya, when he got in trouble, the Cubs were going bad. He said, "These people don't even have jobs around." He was gone.
Lee Ilya, there's a name out of the past.
Hey, what a good guy, too.
Yeah.
Tell you this.
Looked like he wanted to do a little bunting, but it's 2 balls and no strikes.
The managing job is frustrating. Well, you have to have a wonderful constitution to be a big league baseball manager.
Only 3 players in Major League Baseball history have come from Cairo, Georgia.
Cairo?
Yeah, Mr.
Wow.
Harris's uncle Ernest, and that was Ernest Riles. You remember him?
Oh, sure.
And the other player, number 42, Jackie Robinson.
Really? Man, you're just full of information here today, man. You had to go to James or somebody to get that stuff. The archives down in West Virginia. We got the basketball coach from Michigan. You know, he's from West Virginia.
Well, that's right. And we had our old friend Eddie Sutton in the ballpark over the weekend.
We get some
great basketball coach.
We got Mr. Knight is here. We got all kinds of bass. I said, there must be a heck of a player around here someplace. They're recruiting.
2 balls and 1 strike. 1 on and 1 out. Scoreless game. 3rd inning. Ooh, right there.
Be nice to get Wainwright a run or 2 to work on, wouldn't it? The last
sure
time
would.
he pitched 8 innings and had to shut him out to get a 1-0 victory.
Two and 2 the count to Willie Harris. And he is down and out. And that is 3 strikeouts. Cardinal fans, when it comes to tickets, you deserve Major League service. So go online to StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals, and the only site with Fan Protect guarantee. Christian Guzman grounded out in the first inning. This is a man who in his career has played only one position. Shortstop. He's been around for 10 years and that's his position. He doesn't play anywhere else.
Kind of quiet out here today, huh?
Everybody just enjoying the afternoon and hoping that they'll have something to cheer about very soon.
Well, I knew we would last night. I went into the game. I said to Ricky, who was my partner yesterday, and I said, well, you can bet that we'll have at least 10 runs and 20 hits today.
Good prediction on your part.
It was wild, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee you we'll get some action here pretty soon.
Guzman fouls it off. He comes in batting .303.
What a nice play by a fan over there. Fun at the old ballpark, man, I'm telling you. We still have good, clean, wholesome entertainment out here, don't we?
You're not kidding. And these family days are great fun. I want to remind everybody there are tickets available Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday when Milwaukee is in town.
Tell you what, Jay, I think we only have like 15 games left after this here at home. And the tickets are going to go. And they're going to go fast. There's maybe 5,000 or 6,000 tickets left for each game, except for the Cubs series.
Well, on Tuesday,
that's half price night, isn't it?
They've sold 38,000. That's half price, and the outfield O's tickets are only $17.
You know what you can do on these games that are sold out like this? They have a lot of box seats that are available. I mean, you'd be surprised how many good seats. People are looking for the real good seats. Well, now's the time to get them because there's a lot of those box seats that are available, both infield and outfield.
1,900 on Tuesday. Field boxes.
Yeah, how about that?
1,400 on Wednesday. And the Thursday afternoon game, there are 2,100 field boxes, 1,700 Loge boxes available.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good tickets. All you got to do is go to stlcardinals.com and they'll slide them right off the shelf for you.
2-2 the count to Guzman. First, 2 out.
Those day games, they're the best. What is Thursday? That's 1:15 to it.
That's right, a 1:15 game.
I like the noon game.
Businessman, businesswomen specialists.
Well, now they call them business person specialists.
Right, yeah. Cover all the bases.
Oh, yeah. We'll make sure.
Full count to Guzman.
That's like not policemen or firemen. They're firefighters. Police personnel.
Away. Mike, after the day off tomorrow and the 3 games with Milwaukee, the Birds back out on the road.
Pittsburgh and then Milwaukee. Albert playing behind the runner over there. He'll be off on this 3-2 pitch. The outfielders back up a bit, especially in right. Wow.
It's out into the seats beyond third.
Show us the defensive alignment of Infield. Can you, Tommy? Talk about playing deep. There's the left fielder is pretty deep. Center fielder is shallow. He plays shallow quite a bit. But look where Anfield's playing.
Look at the room in right center. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, this guy usually with the 3-2 count. He's going to hang a breaking ball if he's going to pull it. There it is.
Foul away.
But he kept it down. This guy's a good hitter. He comes in with a batting average of .304. He's a pest. You know, he's hitting 7 straight games, and if you get it up, he'll just spank it into left field.
In his career, Mike, he has hit .319 with runners in scoring position. He's been a good one over the years. He's 31 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Christian Guzman. Runners going, and here is a shot out to Ryan. Very close, but he makes the play. Good job Ryan's doing.
He's a great shortstop.
After 2.5 innings here, no score.
his foot. Look at him plant his foot there. Before he caught the ball, he planted his foot because he knew he was going to have to throw to get a speedy runner. So he planted the foot before he caught the ball. Watch, see there? Boom, it's already planted. The ball wasn't even to him yet. I tell you, he's got such a strong arm that he can throw from a position like that. The normal shortstop can't throw like that.
Here's a shot into right on the run, and the play made by Dukes. Dukes goes a long way to get that one well hit off the bat of Brendan Ryan.
Tell you what, Jay, he's developing into the best shortstop in the National League. He's playing better than any shortstop I've ever seen.
And he deserves a lot of credit. So do Jose Akendo and Joe Patini, who have worked with him for hours.
You know, I can't tell you how many scouts and general managers have come up to me and said, you know, we tried to get him last year. At least a half a dozen different organizations have told me that.
Wainwright's batting 155 on the year. 4 RBIs, a couple of home runs. The Georgia Peach at the plate. Off-speed pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He got a little taste of his own medicine.
Yes, sir.
He didn't like it either.
Both of these guys possess pretty good hooks, don't they?
Yes, sir. I'll tell you, this is big leagues here. He said, wow. I'll tell you a great story about that. Yeah, so you see that curveball and the strikeout is third. I'm trying to think of his name. Pitched for the Yankees and for Houston and everybody. Got all those strikeouts. The right-handers all in trouble with Congress. Roger Clemens, okay, came to bat against Seaver. And I don't know if it was some all-star game or what. Must have been the all-star game. And he said, holy mackerels, he says to the catcher, says, how can anybody hit this stuff? And he said, catcher said to him, he said to Clemens, he said, what are you talking about? You're throwing harder than he is. He said, really? He said, then and there, he said, I knew that I could throw the fastball, and said, take your chances because nobody can hit that stuff.
Schumacher struck out in the first. Let's get a piece of this one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Redbirds start the day as a team batting .260, have hit 134 home runs. That catches the corner. This plate umpire, Scott Berry, very definitive, doing a nice job here.
Yeah, we've had
a little outside.
Both the guy at second and third.
Culpa, very
and
good.
Honora, they have had really good games behind the plate in this series. Very good. Our buddy Bruce Friending was telling us the other day, since they have that, whatever that thing is, they grade the umpires on now.
Oh, the new system.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've checked that thing, and it's almost 96% of the time the home plate umpires are correct. Right at 96%.
Here comes the 2-2. Full count.
Tell you, the umpiring is really a difficult job. I mean, it is a difficult job. And they don't get enough credit. We rip them all the time because they're, you know,
they're fair game.
That's right. I mean, the 3 Blind Mice and everything. Remember they played that song, the 3 Blind Mice, when the umpires came out in the minor leagues, and so they threw the organ player out of the ballpark. They can do that. You know, they can throw anybody out of the ballpark. If you're in the stands and you're yelling or something and it's dry, they can have you removed from the park.
This should play for Pete Orr, the second baseman.
It's the only real authority left in the United States or in the world, man. The umpire.
2-3, we're scoreless. Hardee's with sliced roast beef and a cup of orange juice. By Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. And by Schnucks. Low prices, no sacrifices. Mike, there's that new Schnucks Market downtown.
Boy, it is
having that
beautiful.
grand opening. What a great job.
I've already been in there twice. I did my shopping there 2 days ago, and when they were opening for the grand opening, Scott was down there, Scott Snook, and I mean, it's a new innovation if you haven't seen it. And that's another tribute to downtown St. Louis and how well things are going here. But this store is really great. I mean, they have everything in there. And very unique. You need to take, if you're going to do it, take time. They have all kinds of new innovations. You can order your food and then pick it up on your way home from work. Or I mean, it's just, the list goes on. And it is a dynamite. I think it's right on the corner of about, I don't know, 8th and 9th and Olive, if I'm not mistaken.
2 strikes to count on Zimmerman. Leading it off here in the 4th inning. He grounded out to end the 1st.
You do that a lot. You know where you're going, but you don't know the name of the streets.
Yeah.
In your own hometown, you know. Yeah, it was more fun to see. Oh, go down to the Red Barn and turn left, you know.
Schumacher throws out Zimmerman. Join News Channel 5 every Sunday morning at 10 for Wings of Hope, Cardinal Nation. 30 minutes of in-depth stories, interviews, and features. That's Wings of Hope, Cardinal Nation, right here on your home of Cardinal Baseball, News Channel 5.
You know, the Snooks people have been very innovative here in our community.
Oh, great family. They've done a lot for this community.
So much. It's amazing, the corporations here, how much they do for charities. And all of our sponsors here on this. The list goes on, and they seem to give forever. Scott Snook and his family have been something.
Adam Dunn. Dunn grounded out to start the 2nd inning.
This guy's healthy for the first time in quite a while, and he's having his best year in quite a while. He always hits 40 or more home runs, drives in close to 100. His average is 283 coming in. He's really had a heck of a season.
He's from Texas. He was slated to go to the University of Texas and play quarterback. He was an outstanding, actually was rated the top high school quarterback in the nation. He ended up switching when he went to the University of Texas over to their baseball program, and it, I guess, was a good move for him.
Paid off.
Yeah. 3 balls and a strike.
I had people ask me, "You glad you went to baseball instead of football?" I said, "Yeah, well, Sunday when I see those big guys come off the field, I said, yeah, I'm really glad I did." See, those guys. You know what's amazing to me, Jay? Not only are they big, but how fast they are, how quick they are.
It is amazing.
It's frightening.
We should remind everyone, if you don't know, Mr. Shannon was one fine quarterback. CBC, everything. Here is a walk, very unusual, but a walk.
First of the day, and you know the Cardinal. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Cardinal pitching staff has the least walks in the major leagues.
That is correct.
Number 1.
You are correct, and that is only the 2nd walk in the month of August issued by Wainwright. Here's Willingham, who struck out back in the 2nd.
Ooh, what a curveball that was, and he took a little off. You know, that's the thing that Adam. That's the thing that he's done. Let's watch this pitch here. Look at this thing break. It was inside when it started, and it wound up outside. It was inside off of the plate, and then wound up as a strike. And he does it again this time. Throws it at him, and it breaks over the plate. It's a dangerous way to throw that pitch, but what he's done is vary the speeds on the breaking ball this year, and that's been a big plus for him.
Willingham is a .222 hitter lifetime against Wainwright.
Now, see, he threw that one harder. The other ones were right at 70 miles. This one was 75.
At Wrigley Field, the Mets have taken the lead over the Cubs 2-1 in the 3rd inning. One ball and 2 strikes to Willingham.
getting right upset with himself on that pitch. He wanted to make that a perfect pitch that he'd swing at and maybe get the double play ball, and he threw it way too far outside. Now's a chance where you can take that fastball, two-seamer, and turn it over and get the double play, but he's going to go back to the slider and he gets the strikeout.
That is the 4th K for Wainwright.
He has a lot of weapons, this guy, and he's getting better and better, and he may be on his way to the Cy Young Award. He's got a lot of competition, and some of it's right here on his team with Carpenter 14 victories and leads the National League in the earned run department on run average.
Elijah Dukes off the end of the bat.
And of course, coming up in the Atlanta organization, this is what he copied himself after.
Yeah, Mr. Smoltz was his idol.
Mentor.
Dukes was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. A lot of Georgia influence around here.
Georgia boys stick together.
Georgia on my mind. You and I have spent a few rainy nights in Georgia.
Some of them we can't mention, right?
2 balls and a strike.
My goodness, we've had a few good days through the years, haven't we?
Oh, we sure have, Mike. Yes, sir.
In our travels.
Yes, sir.
Up through the Northeast, and when we go to Monmouth.
Here's a shot into left. Holiday is there. 3.5 innings, a scoreless game. At Bank of America. Mike Shannon and I want to send our greetings, best wishes to one of the great broadcasters of all time, Buddy Blattner.
He could do it all, couldn't he?
Buddy's struggling with his health these days, but
he listens in, watches in all the time. Maybe one of the best, if not the best, basketball announcer in the history of the game.
He was the best I ever heard.
And did Cardinal baseball for years and years, and also Kansas City.
Did the Royals, and also, of course, was there at the beginning with baseball on television, the game of the week with Dizzy Dean, and later with Pee Wee Reese. Buddy Blattner,
great voice,
remarkable man. Colby Rasmus has the first hit of the afternoon for the Cardinals.
Tell you what, Colby's having himself quite a rookie season, isn't he? So he's got one of the nicest swings you're going to see. He Turner took his foot off, didn't he? He tried to stick the foot out there and deflect it.
Like he was trying to imitate Pinheiro out there.
Kick save.
Pujols popped out in the first. Nine straight 30 home run seasons. The runner goes. Little shooter out to the left side. Albert on the run. Colby goes on to third. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
That's the kind of Cardinal baseball you love to see. Colby had an idea when he looked back as he was going down to second base, and he saw that little squibber. See him look right there? He said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go to third," and he did. Wise at the third baseman, Zimmerman didn't throw it because that would have been a tough chance for him. He saw it, but if he throws there on the run, going away, he's liable to throw that thing in the seats. So he was smart enough not to throw it.
Might have been one of the shortest base hits in Albert's career, but we'll take it, right?
Guaranteed.
Holiday fly to right of the second inning.
He'd like to do what he did last night. A 3-run home run.
Ooh, he had a cut.
He had his fist there too. He didn't get cheated on the swing. I will say that. He's got almost a bottle bat, doesn't he?
Rasmus at third. Pujols at first. Fourth inning, scoreless game. Nobody out. Holiday at the dish. Day off tomorrow. Tuesday it'll be Pinheiro against former Cardinal Braden Looper as the Brewers come to town for 3. Popped up, coming back out of play.
A lot of guys have different ways of timing themselves, and here's how he watch his leg. He picks his leg straight up, and then if it's a fastball, he puts it down. If it's a off-speed pitch, or he just lets it settle. He lets it settle a little later on, much like Sorrento, the great Japanese home run hitter.
And like the great Mel Ott.
Mel Ott did that also. He's very pronounced with his. That's his timing mechanism.
Oh, he doesn't like that call. But it is the 4th strikeout for Garrett Mock.
He's giving an umpire a piece of his mind, too. Let's take another look.
Here's Ankiel, who walked in the second.
Still the one true authority left in North America, right? There's no courts for these umpires. That's it, period. Boom.
They have to deal with the court of public opinion from time to time, but
that's why they kicked that guy out, the organist, playing 3 blind mice.
First pitch is outside.
Threw him out of the game, man, the organist. It's the only time in the history of baseball the umpire threw him out. Can't play 3 blind mice.
Six-year-old Texan Garrett Mock in a bit of trouble here. The scoreless game. Runners at the corners. Outside ball 2.
He's been much more patient of late, Rick Anfield.
Brace yourself, St. Louis. Dr. Oz is coming this fall to News Channel 5. You have an appointment with Dr. Oz beginning September 14th. Get ready to live right now. The Dr. Oz Show debuts weekday mornings at 11, starting September the 14th on News Channel 5. Ball 3.
Well, I'll tell you what. A week ago, he'd have taken a swing at that one.
Yep.
I wonder if The manager going to turn him loose here. 3-0.
Khalil Green is on deck.
I knew he was.
And here is a fly ball into center. Coming over, Willingham takes it. Colby scores. Sacrifice fly for Ankiel. RBI number 35. 1-0 St. Louis.
Take a look, and the center fielder thought he might come over, and I don't know if the left fielder didn't hear him at the last minute, but he wasn't in throwing position there. Not at all. It would have been a better choice for the left fielder because he should have had himself in better fielding position, but I think as you look at him now, you know what bothered him? The sun.
That's a good point.
So he looked up. If you'll watch now, as soon as the plays was finished, they all looked up in the air to see where that sunshine, and it's just barely sneaking through the clouds now. And you see it's a cloud cover, but now the sun is just peeking out, and that's what got the left fielder.
Green takes a strike on the inside corner.
And he's giving that inside corner, isn't he?
Yes, he is. At least he's been consistent with it.
Yeah.
He's getting the start here at third base today.
This guy uses the biggest bat on the team. Longest, the heaviest. It's a monster bat for this day and age.
Whew. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That looked like a pretty good pitch too, didn't it? Wow.
See the clouds, but as Mike mentioned, we've got the sun just peeking through. It's got a big patch of blue kind of on top of the ballpark right now.
That's what got the left fielder on that. That's why he was turning normally he'd have had his body facing so he could have thrown home, but he was facing the other way because of the sunshine, trying to keep the ball away from the sun.
Redbirds are on the board here in the 4th. That's high, 3-1.
All of a sudden, that plate's starting to shrink, isn't it?
Let's see if Albert's thinking about doing a little running here. Nope. 3-2.
The reason the Cardinals have taken the lead is because Rasmus went first to third on that little slow roller off the bat of Albert. And then he came in on the sacrifice fly. Speed. Ooh, what a plus it is in this business.
Here goes Albert. Little number. Here's a fair ball, and that's going to do it. But the Birds get the run as Rasmus comes across after 4. 1-0 St. Louis. bunt. And no play by Khalil Green, as Orr has excellent speed, and he has a base hit to lead off this 5th inning. This date in history, presented by Commerce Bank. The Cardinals honor the late great Jack Buck with a new statue outside of Busch Stadium. And I have to say, there's hardly a day goes by, Rick, that I don't think about Jack Buck.
I was just thinking about that, Jay. Even being here at the stadium, so many things remind you of either a story or a connection with Jack, and certainly Cardinal fans feel the same way. He really brought Cardinal baseball to so many people for so many years, not just in St. Louis or just in Missouri. We're talking about around the entire country.
Well, just sitting these last 2 innings with Mike next to me, thinking about all of the years that the 3 of us spent together on the air. It's a special time in my life, I'll tell you. No balls and a strike.
Nobody could MC an event like Jack Buck.
Oh, sir. Toss over there. I use his line when people are getting a picture taken a lot. You know, that old line of his, you never know how you look until you've had your picture taken.
He had a lot of lines.
Oh, boy. It's in for a strike. Hard singled in the 3rd. Mets are leading the Cubs 4-1. They're in the 4th inning at Wrigley. 2-2 LA and Cincinnati. They're in the 8th. Oh, look at that. That's Bob Starr with the sunglasses on. Of course, Mr. Shannon on the right. And the old Gray Eagle in the middle there, Mr. Buck. In time at second base. Nice play. Get the lead man. Going back to that picture there.
Pretty dapper, Jay. All you guys pretty dapper in that photo.
How about that polka dot shirt that the big collars and the polka dot shirts that Bob Starr and Mike were wearing there. Mr. Bob Starr. Oh, talk about a man who can announce. He was as good a football announcer as I think I ever heard. John Francis Buck, born in Holyoke, Massachusetts.
I think of Jack. I remember a game he did on radio. Somebody told me that I was batting with 2 outs and said, Orton's the batter, 0-2's the count, the 3rd strike, you'll be here in a minute and we'll go to break. And there it is.
A little prediction, huh?
And that wasn't too hard, probably. Oh, I just love the man.
Oh, such a part of the fabric of this community for so many years, and will always be.
And of course, we're fortunate to get to hear and see Joe Buck do so many things on a national basis, and you could tell it'd be in his DNA to be a very professional broadcaster in his own right.
And a much better golfer than his dad.
Down to a 2.
Yes, sir.
Watch out.
Strong. Where was that pitch? Maybe I should make the prediction that this will soon be strike 3 on Garrett Mock.
If he throws a curveball, it's turn out the lights.
I thought that last one was a strike.
Oops.
That is the strikeout. What's on tap is presented by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability. Prince Fielder and the Brewers will be in town Tuesday night. The coverage at 6:30 on Fox Sports Midwest.
He's become an RBI machine. That's going to be some great games here at Busch Stadium to finish out this homestand. You know, the Brewers have been kind of an enigma this year. They've had good stretches, bad stretches, but they've got still have a good lineup. Braun and Fielder in the middle of that lineup.
Harris has flied to center and struck out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pittsburgh and Milwaukee at Milwaukee. 1-1 in the 5th inning. Marlins lead the Padres 5-3 in the 7th in Florida. Green light very sharp again this afternoon.
That was an outstanding changeup right there from Wainwright. Doesn't throw that pitch a lot, but he's got a good changeup.
Yankees are leading the White Sox in New York 4-2 in the 7th inning. Detroit 4-3 over Tampa Bay in Detroit, 9th inning. Boston 4-0 over Toronto and Boston in the 7th. And Baltimore 5-1 over Cleveland and Baltimore in the 7th inning. Bring you up to date on all the scoring. Here it's a 1-0 game, Cardinals. Curveball outside, full count. Wainwright has walked 1. That was Adam Dunn in the last inning. Runners going. The ball hit to Halladay. And that's going to do it. 4.5 innings have been played. The Cardinals leading 1-0.
$2,543 wins with you, Knight, Sutton, and Beeline in the same building.
It's pretty good. A lot of wins in college basketball. I'm not sure I live up to Eddie and Bobby. Coach Beeline, I got a chance to catch up with him.
Well, you're the winningest coach percentage-wise in the history of the Big Ten. You're doing a lot of good things. Tell me about your club for next season. You got to be thrilled. A lot of talented sophomores now, juniors.
Yeah, that group, McCamey and Mike Davis, Mike Tisdale, Alex Legion. Take, a year later, hopefully a little more maturity, and they got to be our leaders. We got to take Fraser and Meacham's place, and then we got 4 freshmen coming in we feel real good about. And of course, Tyler Griffey, and nice kid from Chesterfield, great family. You got a chance to be a good ball player for us.
How about your love of baseball growing up in Milwaukee? You got to see number 44 play a little bit.
Yeah, Hank Aaron. Actually, my wife worked in the emergency room and took care of him one time, but Braves early when I was a youngster, and then the Brewers later on. And, I had a chance to watch the Cardinals when I was in Carbondale, of course. And then the people in Champaign keep trying to make me a Cub fan. It's hard to do that.
Well, you can't do that, can you?
No, it's hard.
Coach, congratulations on a great run in Illinois. Thanks for the visit.
Thank you, Frank.
All right, that's Bruce Weber. Let's send it back to Jay and Rick.
All right, thank you, Frank. Bruce Weber, really good people. The Fighting Illini, of course, playing in that tough Big Ten. And I'm reminded, coming up, of course, we've got the battle right here between the Illini football team and the Missouri Tiger football team. That's Saturday.
Be fun.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Molina. Yachty this afternoon grounded out in the 2nd inning. If you're just joining us, the Redbirds got a run using the speed of Colby Rasmus to go from 1st to 3rd in the 4th inning.
A lot of runs and a lot of hits yesterday. You're wondering if these teams maybe used up some of that, as we've had a pitcher's duel so far. Cardinals hitting in the bottom of the 5th, and just 4 hits in the game.
2 for each team. 2-2 to Molina. Slapped out to Pete Orr. Molina is the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, let's have a little trivia time for you here on the telecast, presented by Schnucks. What was the name of the stadium the Montreal Expos played in their first 7 seasons? I did the first game that was ever played there. Dal Maxfield hit a home run into the swimming pool in right field. The Cardinals lost.
Jerry Park.
Park Jerry.
Now Dal didn't hit very many of those home runs.
Wind was blowing about 35 miles an hour into right field.
Now, I have to be careful. I have a lot of respect for Dal Maxfield.
So do I.
And we talk about the great fielding Cardinals in their history, and we mention Ozzie all the time, but Dal Maxfield was an outstanding shortstop.
He sure was. You know, every year they would be articles in spring training that Maxfield was about done and we're going to go another route. Every time the club would come north, Dal was the shortstop. And an outstanding general manager with the Redbirds for many years as well. 2 balls and a strike. Brendan Ryan flied to right back in the 3rd inning. Boy, that was a cold, damp, wet day, that opening game. The first game, Major League ball game ever played in Canada at Parc Jury.
Unfortunately, the folks in Montreal never quite learned the game, even as late as when the club moved, or just before the club moved to Washington.
Right.
They wouldn't quite understand the action on the field. They wouldn't cheer at the right time, and they really had to get a lot of messages on the board to tell people when to make noise.
And it's handled by Zimmerman in good fashion. And of course, I have to say, in all honesty, Rick, and I think you'd agree with me, Olympic Stadium was a terrible place to play baseball.
The worst abuse I ever got was in that stadium. I had a fan yell at me and say, "I don't know anything about baseball, but I know that you throw slow."
When the Marlins come to town on Monday the 14th, it's the 3rd annual Stitch and Pitch Night at Busch Stadium. Join fellow enthusiasts of the needle arts community, and you can even work on a project during the game. It's all one special price, including your game ticket and a Cardinals Stitch and Pitch tote bag. For details, visit stlcardinals.com/Stitch and Pitch. Wainwright. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wainwright struck out back in the 3rd inning. Two and 1. That's slow. Wouldn't walk the pitcher, would he? Full count.
Not yet.
Out to shortstop. Christian Guzman throws him out. Cardinals go 1-2-3 in the 5th. After 5, 1-0 St. Louis. Sports Plus. Join News Channel 5's Randy Knott, Frank Cusimano tonight following the late news right here on News Channel 5. A light hitting affair. The Redbirds up 1-0. We go to the 6th. Guzman, Zimmerman, and Dunn due for the Nationals. Catches the inside corner for a strike. Oh, and 2. The Nationals / Expos have won just 2 of 15 series played in St. Louis since the beginning of the '97 season. Always nice to see one of the great gentlemen in our business, Mr. Bob Carpenter, who's the television voice of the Washington Club.
Classy man, loved his time here in St. Louis.
Yep. He's down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There's Robert.
And his sister, Judy Beretta, works for the Cardinals and has for many, many years. And Bob, I know in his heart, will always have a special place for the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team and for the organization.
And those who've had the opportunity to work with him have a warm place in their hearts for him, too.
No question. And I was fortunate enough to be one of those guys. Bob was actually an usher here at the ballpark when he was younger.
That's right.
And he caught one of the home runs that Ron Swoboda hit off of Steve Carlton in a 2-hit game that Carlton lost to the Mets. 2 hits were both home runs by Swoboda, and Bob Carpenter caught one of those baseballs.
That's 6 strikeouts. Well, Jay Leno's headed our way. If you want more comedy this fall, a full hour of comedy every weeknight, prime time. The Leno Show debuts September the 14th. Jerry Seinfeld will be the guest that night on News Channel 5. New comedy, 5 nights a week at 9 p.m. The Jay Leno Show. It's about time.
There's the bobblehead, Adam Wainwright. Pitching pretty well on his own bobblehead night. Bobblehead afternoon.
Zimmerman has grounded out twice. Our first final of the afternoon. Detroit defeats Tampa Bay 4-3 at Detroit. Pitch on the corner. Adam today making his team leading 28th start of the season. And old Uncle Charlie is working pretty good out there. Two and two.
And he's doing it on another 64-degree August day in St. Louis. We haven't seen many of those in history, but I wonder whether the cool temperatures in August will be a big plus to this team as you go into September and October. Perhaps
I think they will.
Perhaps the innings won't bother them so much, and they'll be fresher.
That's 7 strikeouts, and that's 3 of the last 4.
Looking curveball here, maybe. Well, he guessed wrong. He has that same front leg trigger that we talked about with Matt Holliday, Frank's piece with him in our open, and he guessed wrong. It's one of the problems when you do a lot with your front side like that. If your timing's off, you have a tendency to be fooled.
Dunn is grounded out and walked, and one of the keys to the game for Rick at the beginning of this afternoon was keep this guy off the base paths.
Did walk that one time, but keep him in the ballpark at least.
Yep.
That's what amazes me about Dunn. He gets a lot of walks. You just think of him as kind of an all-or-nothing guy. You know, a home run. He's the guy you want on your softball team on Saturday afternoon, because you know he's going to hit the ball a long way. But the 282 batting average, he's become a bit more of a complete player.
He hit the longest home run ever hit at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. He's got some power. And he gets the walk, his second, and the second for Wainwright. Wainwright being pretty careful with him. You know, time's running out to help the hungry, and News Channel 5's Operation Food Search is going to end tomorrow. Be a hero and help fill up your local food pantries and help our neighbors in need. Hurry and stop by any Walmart location to donate, or simply visit ksdk.com to donate right now. That's ksdk.com. Need a hero? Be a hero. Willingham, a count of 1 ball to him, and Molina wants to visit with his hurler.
It didn't take long for Yadier Molina to feel like a conversation was necessary on the mound. Wainwright's control has been so good in the month of August. We mentioned his low walk total. And for him to walk Dunn and then be 1-0 on Willingham was enough for Molina to say, let's have a conversation. Slow down a bit. Let's just concentrate on strike one here.
He has now walked 3 in the month of August.
It's hard to remember, but you think back the first few starts, maybe the first 4 starts for Wainwright. He was averaging about 4 strikeouts per, or 4 walks per 9 inning, and he would have a lot of long counts, deep counts. There's a strike. And the problem with Wainwright early on, he went 5 innings, I think, his first 2 outings, and he had a lot of pitches. The pitch count got high, and that's the problem with walks. He's at 96 here this afternoon.
And it's 3-1.
And he's 1 out away from having 26 straight games of 6 or more innings.
That is something these days. Full count. Inside, walk number 3.
He's laboring a bit now. He's lost his command, and the problem with throwing close to 100 pitches and then losing your command is all those pitches take more out of you. I mean, if you're at 100 pitches and you're in your groove, you can go further. But these last 5 or 6 pitches, I'm sure, have taken a lot out of Adam Wainwright, and he just needs to get Dukes out here, and that may be it for him.
Dukes has been hit by a pitch in the second. He flied to left in the 4th. 2 on, 2 out. 1-0 St. Louis, 6th inning. Foul back, and Mr. Dukes had a cut there.
You like Wainwright to go deep into games, but if he gets Duke out here, I would say, Adam, happy birthday. Go take a shower. Go open your presents. You're done. Cardinals bullpen is rested. There's an off day tomorrow. Even 100 pitches, 60% strikes. I think his work should be through after this batter.
It's high and tight. And stirring in the bullpen out in right center. Nobody actually has started to throw.
But there is stirring.
Yes, there is.
Well, he's definitely out of whack right now. The mechanics aren't right. Doesn't seem smooth right now. And really, he's just trying to gut it out. This is where a pitcher who's trying to be an elite pitcher figures out a way to make an adjustment quickly just to get that out. Crowd urging him on. They know he's struggling.
And here's a little bloop out into center field. It falls, and Dunn comes home, and it's a 1-1 game. That is RBI number 52 on the season for Elijah Dukes. Willingham out there at second.
Well, it's kind of a rolling curveball here. It's just not very sharp. It's middle of the plate. Dukes able to keep his hands back and drive that ball in the left center field. And the location wasn't that bad. It just really wasn't a sharp breaker, and he's just really struggling right now.
And here's the red hot Pete Orr, who's grounded out and singled. Strike one to Orr. Orr was signed as a minor league free agent in December of '07.
Molina going out to talk to Wainwright again, and this is so, I think it would be so they could get a reliever loose, but there's still nobody throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. Even though he's up to 104 pitches, he's struggling here, and Molina just trying to nurse him through this inning. And perhaps he was crossed up on that pitch, I don't know, but pitch way up out of the strike zone, and Orr couldn't lay off it. Wainwright just needs a break right here. He needs a line drive right at somebody.
That's high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Los Angeles and Cincinnati playing over in the Queen City on the Ohio, going to the 10th inning, tied 2-2. The Nationals have tied it here in the 6th. Go ahead run out there at second.
I'm very surprised there's nobody loose right now in the Cardinal bullpen.
Fouled out of play.
He's laboring here. That pitch still at 91. It's not a problem in terms of his strength and his stamina, but he just off on his mechanics. Yeah, and that starts with his mechanics and feeling good. He's already walked 2 guys in this inning. Started out with a couple of quick strikeouts, but you know, the pitch count now, again, that's not the most important thing, but it's up to 107 and still nobody throwing.
Little bleeder that is a foul ball. That was off the toe of Pete Orr.
And again, there's plenty of innings out there in the bullpen. Ryan Franklin needs to pitch today because he's been off for the last 3 days. And there's other guys out there that are ready to pitch. Brad
2
Thompson,
on and 2 out.
Brad Thompson pitched an inning yesterday. Mott a third of an inning. Miller a third, but plenty innings out there.
Down to Albert. Toss in time to Wainwright. Albert did a nice job. That ball took a high bounce against him. It's 1-1 after 5½. Relationship? Call, click, or come by Commerce Bank, member FDIC. And by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. Well, Duncan has been visiting with Wainwright, and they do have Miller up in the bullpen. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning in a 1-1 game, it'll be Schumacher, Rasmus, and Pujols.
Only one walk through the first part of the month, all the way up until yesterday, but 3 walks today. Very uncharacteristic of Adam Wainwright. He's still pitching very well. 1 run in 6 innings. Can't complain about that, but I question whether or not he should go back out there for the next inning. Maybe he'll figure it out.
You picked up on the obvious. He was definitely laboring with his, where he wanted to put that ball. That delivery was bothering him somewhat, obviously.
Well, and you wonder if he can get it if he goes back out there again. They'd like to get him a victory. That's the other thing you're worried about here. You know, he's your guy. He's the guy that you're hoping will be a Cy Young candidate. There's one right in front of him in Chris Carpenter. And so you'd like your horse to be out there and give him a chance. But, if he doesn't find it quickly, and it looks like he's still in this game, if he doesn't find it right away, I just don't know how much longer you can go with it.
Here is Rasmus, who flied to right in the first, singled, and then went from first to third on an infield single by Pujols, and later scored on a sacrifice fly by Ankiel. 1 ball to count to Colby. There's the bullpen and Miller, who has been magnificent. Colby to the right side. He's 2 for 3 on the afternoon.
Colby Rasmus has had a good afternoon. There's a nice base hit right on top of it in the 4th inning. Colby also went first to third on this play. Swinging roller off the bat of Albert Pujols, and the hustle from Rasmus brought him to third, and he ends up scoring on a sacrifice fly. That's the only Cardinal run of the afternoon.
Pujols popped out in the first, got that infield single in the 4th. In for a strike. Right about here, you'd like to see a crooked number go up on that board out there. 1-3-0 for Washington. 1-3-0 for St. Louis. The Nationals have left 6 on, the Cardinals 2.
You've got one of the best crooked number creators in all the land.
Indeed. One ball and 1 strike. Another final. The Yankees defeat the White Sox in New York. The final was 8-3. 1-1 if you're just joining us here. Bottom of the 6th. Foul.
Well, the Nationals aren't giving up, that's for sure. After losing the first 2 games of the series, Jim Riggleman has this club playing much better in the month of August. They're playing a bit over 500.
He is their interim manager, but I frankly think they could go ahead and put him in that slot for next year. I think that would be a good way for them to go.
He is great with young players.
Yes, sir.
He is absolutely spectacular with young players. And he's had some success. He had a good year with San Diego. He had a good year with Chicago as a manager there. And, of course, he was the Cardinals minor league field coordinator for a number of years. So many of the Cardinal players that we see now, he helped develop. Boggs yesterday, Molina, Rasmus. These are guys he knows. Brendan Ryan.
2-2 pitch. Popped up on the right side and just backing out of play.
Mock, who's had a rough month in terms of throwing strikes, 15 walks through yesterday, has only walked one today. So he's the opposite of Wainwright. He's all of a sudden found his control, and we talked about the need to get into the bullpen. One of the keys of this game, get in early, because he's the kind of guy that can settle down, and he has done a very nice job this afternoon.
Here comes a 2-2 pitch to Albert. First this throw over. Gets away. Rasmus at second. It's a wild pitch.
And another quick pitch from Mock as he just comes set quickly and then rushes to the plate, and he ends up rushing the pitch as well. And now you've got a decision to make. 3-2 the count. Jim Riggleman thinking about it. Do I want to face this guy? I'm not too sure about that. I don't know. What do you think? I think they said pitch him away and pitch around him.
Payoff pitch coming.
Way outside. Trying to get him to chase.
Up the middle. Albert. Here comes Kobe. 2-1. RBI number 110 for Albert Pujols.
Well, the plan was to get the pitch down and away off the plate to Albert. Jim Riggleman wants the ball away, and here's his reaction. I don't know. Pitch him away.
Yeah, that's what he said. Pitch him away, but
catcher set up away, and the pitch was away, but not fully.
Albert goes on to third. Or can this man make it happen? Stolen base number 14, and the error allows him to go on. Error charge to the pitcher.
Well, his teammates talk about Albert being invisible on the base pass. He'll do things that you really shouldn't do, and he gets away with it. And he took off. The pitcher was not even set yet. The pitcher did the right thing. He stepped off and then turned to throw to second. But he rushed his throw, and Albert, just putting that pressure on, just seems to have an uncanny ability to get away with base running at a high level.
And I think the pitching coach is going to come out for a chat. Matt Holliday is going to be at the dish. Holliday, incidentally, is 0 for 3 against Mock in his career. Well, let's remind you about tomorrow morning. You want to join News Channel 5's Art Holliday and Jennifer Blome. It's St. Louis's favorite morning show today in St. Louis. Wake up with Art and Jennifer for the latest news, traffic, and weather today in St. Louis, beginning at 5 a.m. right here on News Channel 5. Steve McCaddy is the pitching coach, and we're finally going to get things broken up out there.
Sean Burnett and Tyler Clippard are warming up for the Nationals, a lefty and a right-hander, and Mock's afternoon may be drawing close to an end.
Inside to Holliday. Holliday had faced Mock on one occasion and had struck out on that occasion. And then again today he has flied out to right and struck out.
You're playing the infield in on the defense for the Nationals, and with Matt Holliday hitting, you better be alert. They are in close on the infield. Look at the pitch total for Garrett Mock.
High and tight, 2 balls and a strike.
And I'm not so sure they're not playing too close. This is where they are defensively, and you wonder if they could play back just a little bit further. They still might have a good enough chance to throw out Pujols at the plate. They're just taking some range away.
High chop. Albert holds on, of course, and Albiday again not able to get to this young pitcher. Ankiel will have an opportunity to add to the lead. Rick walked in the second, and his sacrifice fly in the fourth put the Redbirds on the board. Well, maybe another win for Wainwright, huh?
Well, I have to believe the decision now should be to take Wainwright out of this game. McClellan getting loose for the Cardinals.
Well, that's an important run down there that Albert is carrying. 2-1 Cardinals. And Keel. And now the catcher Josh Bard again wants to visit.
A lot of conversations between catcher and pitcher the last couple of innings. A lot of meetings, Jay.
Yep. Well, Bard has been around the block. Two-time All-American at Texas Tech University, Big 12 Freshman of the Year.
I think Jim Riggleman would like to have that pitch back to Albert Pujols and maybe call a meeting before they threw that 3-2 pitch.
Rick had a cut at that one, just got a piece of it. Baltimore has defeated Cleveland in Baltimore. Final 5-2 at Camden Yards. Another foul. They're in the 11th inning at Cincinnati. The Dodgers and the Reds tied 2-2. And another strikeout for Rick Ankiel, number 76 on the season. Redbirds have taken the lead 2-1. Exciting NFL preseason action. The Bears taking on the Broncos. Sunday Night Football at 7 tonight on News Channel 5. A couple of fellows named Cutler and Orton might be involved in some fun in that one. Verizon's call to the bullpen. And Kyle McClellan to face Josh Bard. First pitch out to Schumacher, one away.
Well, that's a good start for Kyle. He's been in 53 games, but he's struggled a bit in his last 2 outings. His command's been off a bit, and Tony La Russa was talking about him yesterday, and so much has been said about wanting to get Jason Mott to be a little bit more sharp, but I think he feels the same way about Kyle McClellan. He really needs Kyle McClellan to be a guy to eat up those outs in the 7th and 8th innings.
Mike Morse, a Floridian infielder, pinch hitting here. 222 average for Garrett Mock. McClellan, as you mentioned, struggling a little bit of late. He suffered that blown save in the loss on Thursday. Schumacher moved over, handled it well. Forces out 4-3. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. Adam Wainwright going 6 innings, gave up a run, 3 hits, struck out 7, walked 3, and hit a batter. Here is Willie Harris, who has flied out twice and struck out on the afternoon. Mock out of the game, 6 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, struck out 5 and walked 1. That catches the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think the plan at this point is to have Kyle McClellan in this game until Adam Dunn comes to the plate. Then you'd have Trevor Miller face him and then finish with Ryan Franklin. That is plan A, Jay.
There you go.
But we know that plan A doesn't always work out, so you've got to have a plan B and sometimes C. But those 2 gentlemen are putting their heads together right now, and I'm sure that's the direction they're going. And McClellan does look sharp.
That was a little low, right over the heart of the plate. 2-2. Out of play, into the seats in left. Harris, a .235 lifetime hitter, coming into today's game against the Cardinals. He didn't like the call. He strikes out. Cardinals lead 2-1.
corner? Well, the home plate umpire thought so. Willie Harris didn't. Kyle McClellan, a very nice 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 7th.
Tyler Clippard is the new pitcher. Clippard. Clippard from Lexington, Kentucky. 24 years old. And Green grounds out. Here's Molina, grounded out twice this afternoon. This is into short right. Dukes comes on and makes the play. Well, immediately following today's telecast, you'll want to stay tuned for the post-game show, the highlights, today's action, insight into the game. News Channel 5, your home for the Cardinals. The Zamboni Machine, Ken Reitz, joining Rennie Knott, and all the gang over there for the post-game show today.
Saw Kenny down on the field before the game and getting all his scoop, and he'll be able to help break down the game. Also saw Danny Cox here at the ballpark.
Oh, Coxie, huh?
Always good to see him.
Here's Brendan Ryan, 0 for 2 on the afternoon. He has flied to right and grounded out. This reliever, Tyler Clippard, has worked more than one inning in 14 of his 24 appearances. He was recalled from Syracuse on June the 24th.
It's one of the things about being in the Nationals bullpen, you know you're going to get work. Your starting pitching is not obviously at the level the Cardinals pitching is. They're last in the National League in that department, and you want a chance to prove yourself, you'll get it. You're not going to be out there in the bullpen saying, boy, they're never pitching me. You'll get your chance.
Just announced the attendance, 41,083 on hand for this one. Guzman can't handle it. Ryan reaches with 2 out. It's an error on the shortstop.
That's error number 18 on Guzman, as he let this ball get a little bit too close to him and it just eats him up. He made an error in the game yesterday, which was a big part of the 4-run Cardinal 5th inning. His error prolonged the inning, actually allowed Albert to score, and then Rasmus hit that long 3-run home run to follow.
113 errors on the year for Washington. Out into center field. That's going to do it. 7 of St. Louis and Plaza Lexus. They invite you to test drive a Lexus today. By Emco Transmissions and a whole lot more. And by Emeren UE. We listen, we respond, we deliver. Here's a pop into the seats down the left side off the bat of Christian Guzman. DeRosa now playing at third for the Cardinals.
Tough afternoon for Khalil Green. He was 0 for 3, but DeRosa comes in. We knew he was available to play, although he was scratched as a starter, having some issues with his wrist, but his defense has been very good as a Cardinal.
Guzman has grounded out twice and struck out. Ooh. Looked like a rather feeble effort.
Just waved at that, didn't he? That's what a good curveball will do to you.
High and tight. Out into left. Holiday coming on, makes the play. That'll bring Ryan Zimmerman to the plate. He's grounded out twice and struck out.
This should be McClellan's last batter. Zimmerman is a tough customer. 0 for 3 this afternoon, including a strikeout in the 6th inning. Wainwright's last strikeout. But he's got an average of 300. Done up next, we will see Trevor Miller to face him. Finish strong, Kyle.
Did he go around? Yes. Tom Hallian, the crew chief down at first, makes that call. Way high. Zimmerman's only 24 years old, and everything you hear and everything you see, this guy's got a very fine career ahead of him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Into the seats and right. You're just joining us. The Redbirds got a run in the 4th. Sacrifice fly by Ankiel, scoring Rasmus. The game was tied up with an RBI single by Dukes, scoring Dunn in the 6th. Then the Cardinals, in their half of the 6th, got a run on 2 hits. Albert with the RBI. Rasmus scoring his 2nd run of the game. And a strikeout for McClellan of Zimmerman, his 2nd. And here is Adam Dunn, and here comes the pitching change, as predicted by the old left-hander himself, Ricky Horton. Back with more in a moment.
gave the Cardinals the lead, which is now entrusted to Trevor Miller.
You should get a hat like that, Rick.
I think I'll pass.
Well, that's a dandy, isn't it? A lot of work went into that. Trevor Miller. Miller facing Adam Dunn, who has walked twice and grounded out. Fouled away.
Wonder how Les Gras doing. I think he's enjoying this game.
They introduced him in the last inning between the half innings, and the fans really responded here. 104 years old. All the best. Swing and a miss.
Bud Malkey from Olivet is also at the ballpark today, and it's his birthday. He is 89. He's just a kid.
Trevor Miller trying to dispatch Adam Dunn here. Ooh, just high. Having a little problem with the scoreboard. It's just outside.
But they have the salient details on there, which is 2-1 Cardinals. That's all that matters, isn't it?
Salient. You have to go to the University of Virginia to learn a word like that.
I bet Ryan Zimmerman knows that word.
Fouled away.
You can be out hit. You can make more errors, walk more guys, leave more guys on base. You can have bad attendance. You can do all those things, but that number under the R is what matters at the end of the day.
There you go.
Starting to sound like Tony La Russa, aren't I?
A little.
Boy, you're rubbing off on him.
Full count now.
I do happen to like cats, so maybe he is affecting me, Jay.
Trevor Miller with the Cardinals, his 7th major league team of his career. Well, there is the walk to Dunn. That last pitch, I think, could have been called either way, but
it looks like it is down. Adam Dunn has a great eye for the strike zone. Walks a ton of times every year, and there's another one to add to his total. 3 walks here this afternoon, and we're going to see our closer here in the 8th.
well, we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. Wainwright and Franklin. Franklin coming in. More in a moment. water. Look at this. There you go. And looking at the keys to the game. Well, kept Adam in tow, so to speak. He hasn't hurt the Cardinals. Keep the defensive edge. Good play. And get to their guy early. They didn't get to him very much, but it's a 2-1 game favoring the Cardinals, and Franklin is on. You were with us when Frank Cusimano talked with General Manager John Mozeliak earlier in the broadcast. They're near a deal for continuation of Franklin being a Cardinal, and he faces Josh Willingham, who struck out twice and walked. Franklin asked to get the last 4 outs. For 6, 2 strikeouts. His career against Franklin is Willingham. 1 ball and 1 strike. He has picked up saves in his last 10 appearances.
He only has 2 blown saves all year long. That's pretty good for a closer. High percentage.
Foul back. Again, a reminder, a day off tomorrow for the Redbirds. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, 7:30 contests against the Milwaukee Brewers. Good seats remaining. 7:15 game on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then 1:15 on Thursday. And half price outfield loge tickets only $17 on Tuesday. STLCardinals.com to get your tickets. And there are about 1,900 field box seats left for Tuesday and 1,400 for Wednesday. Here's a shot into left. Holiday off the wall. And all the way over to third. It's a double. Dunn going to third.
Well, here's Dunn going first to third on that ball hit over the head of the left fielder, as Holiday does a pretty nice job of getting that ball off the wall. It could have been a lot worse. He was playing deep for Willingham, and
I thought for a moment he might have a chance to get to that ball, Rick.
Yeah, got out there in a hurry. Holiday got it in quickly. That's all that matters. Get the ball, get it in.
Take another look at it.
Here's the location of the pitch. It's a bit of a hanger on the inside part of the plate, and Willingham drives it. Again, Holiday playing so deep, he was crowding that left field wall, and he's fortunate the ball didn't bounce past it.
Yeah, he was very fortunate. But for a moment, if he got maybe a little better break on it, he might have got to it. But here's Elijah Dukes. He was hit by a pitch and flied to left and singled and got the RBI in the 6th. Tying run at third, go ahead run at second. 2 outs, 8th inning. 2 balls and no strikes. Pete Orr is on deck. Three and 0. Big cut at that one. Dukes comes up empty. Fans have got the wave going, but this is a key spot in this game. 3-1 the count. Missed outside. Loads the bases.
Tony La Russa decides to pitch around Dukes. All those pitches were meant to be out of the strike zone. Even the 3-0 pitch, he expanded his zone and tried to get himself out, which is why you do that. You try to get the hitter to get himself out. But Tony feels that Pete Orr is a better guy to pitch to, but he's swinging the bat pretty well.
He's been swinging it very, very well. He has a hit today. He's 1 for 3. And you look out on the board, that's foul. They show his average now at 600 with an RBI. Orr's 30 years old. He's been around. He just recalled from the minors. They're the runners. Dunn, Willingham, and Dukes. Here's into center field. Rasmus should handle it and does. Washington leads 3. Cardinals lead 2-1. Look at the sky above Busch Stadium. The new pitcher is Sean Burnett, his 64th game. And also we have a new second baseman, the veteran Ron Belliard, taking over at second. Burnett, the left-hander. Oh, got a nice look at the game from there. Be careful. Lugo batting for Schumacher. Schumacher was 0 for 3 today. Lugo batting .292. Burnett is low with his first pitch. He had a hold on Thursday at Chicago. Is 1-1 with 4 holes and a 2.91 ERA in 25 relief appearances. He came over with Niger Morgan from Pittsburgh in the Lastings Millage deal. Of course, Morgan is on the DL and out for the year, and that's a big blow to this team.
Jim Riggleman going to one of his left-handers in the bullpen. He also has former Cardinal Ron Vallone out there, and Tony La Russa countering with right-handers off the bench. Lugo, who's at the plate now, and Ryan Ludwig, who's in the on-deck circle. He'll bat for Colby Rasmus, and once that is announced, we'll probably see the right-hander warming up in the bullpen now for the Nationals, and I think that is Sean Bergman.
Oh, that hit him? Tell if it hit him or not, but it was ball 4. Did not hit him, I'm told. Time for our steak and shake defensive play of the game, and Brendan Ryan's in action again.
There's the flat foot throw from deep shortstop, the strong arm right on time to get Christian Guzman.
So Ludwig gets the call for Rasmus here. Colby had a nice day. He was 2 for 3 and scored both the Cardinal runs.
And Jim Riggleman deciding to leave his left-hander in there. He's had a good season, but he's got 3 tough right-handers in a row.
Ludwig batting .262, has those 79 RBIs.
So Riggleman just sent the catcher out to talk to the pitcher and to stall to make sure the right-hander would get loose. And we will have a reliever, and it's McDougal, their closer, who has not had a lot of action. He has 14 saves out of the bullpen, including 7 straight, but the Nationals haven't been able to get him into a game.
McDougal, I believe, is a former Royal. Toss over to first. Ludwig is 2 for 12 on the homestand. And that's going to do it. Now the stalling tactics continuing with a mass meeting at the mound. Yes, sir. Well, here comes McDougal, who inked a contract with Washington on August the 7th. Albert loosening up. Kids are having a ball, aren't they? McDougal's been around. I mentioned he'd been with the Royals, also the White Sox. Former first-round pick, Kansas City in '99.
He was an all-star with the Royals in 2003. Had a great season, 27 saves that year, and then 21 in 2005. He's the guy that throws 100, or did throw 100. Now he just throws 96.
Strike on the outside corner. Ludwig, the National League Player of the Month in July. Had some injury problems through this season, but still very productive with those 79 RBIs. Backed out of that one, no pitch. Called time. Cardinals leading 2-1. Bottom of the 8th inning. Oh, look out. Almost threw it over the first baseman's head. Sun breaking back through the clouds. Boston has shut out Toronto 7-0. That's a final in Boston. Marlins defeat San Diego 6-4 in Florida. Mets 4-1. That's a final at Chicago. Cubs go down to New York 4-1.
No victory here this afternoon. If the Cardinals are able to hang on to this 2-1 lead, would give them a 10-game lead over the Cubs and would put them at 22 games over 500 for the first time this year.
And they got Zambrano in that game at Chicago today. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Broken bat bleeder. And they turn the double play. Good job by Adam Dung at first base. Here's Albert, who has popped out. An infield single in the 4th, then singled and picked up the RBI and stole a base in the 6th. Strike 1 to Albert. At Cincinnati, LA has taken the lead in the top of the 12th inning, 3-2 over the Reds.
Been a low hit affair here this afternoon, Jay. 4 hits for each club. And wondering if Tony had to do it over again. He might either start the runner or leave Colby in to bunt to move a runner across to maybe try to add to this precarious 2-1 lead. You do have your closer in Ryan Franklin, and he's facing 8, 9, and 1 to start the top of the 9th inning.
Yeah, it'll be Bard and a pinch hitter, and then Harris.
Belliard, I believe, is batting in the 9th spot when they did the double switch, so it'll be him, then Harris, and then the top of the order. And still like that extra run, wouldn't you?
Sure. 2 balls and a strike. Make that 3-1. Milwaukee leading Pittsburgh 4-1 there in the 9th inning.
Wonder how far a 100-mile-an-hour fastball can go.
I don't think we're going to get a chance to see that, but let's see if we do. Oops. Well, we did have a chance. Full count. Redbirds trying to sweep Washington. Foul at the plate. A victory here today for the Cardinals would give them a record of 6-1 on the year. Cardinals are 5-1 against the Nationals. Remember, we had that rain out earlier in the season at Washington. The Birds had to go back up there, make up that game, and got a victory. 3-2 pitch. Into right. Dukes makes the play. And that'll do it. We go to the 9th. Cardinals lead 2-1. By U.S. Cellular. U.S. Cellular, believe in something better. And by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. Josh Bard, the catcher, has a single, reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out this afternoon. Bard signed with the Nationals as a free agent in March of this year. On the run, that is DeRosa, who is now at third, of course. One away. You know, Sunday's game day here on Channel 5, and our next broadcast comes up on September the 13th. The Braves will be here, the Cards and the Braves, September 13th. Coverage beginning at 12:30 right here on your home of Cardinal baseball, News Channel 5. And when we read that promo earlier today, Rick, we reminded everybody that, of course, we might see John Smoltz go against his old team. Here's Belliard. Speaking of people who are going against their old team again, huh?
He can still hit. Don't let that average fool you. And he has a little bit of pop too. He's not playing a whole lot.
33 years old now, Ronnie Belliard.
Tell you, this is a tough save that Ryan Franklin has been asked to get. You get the 1 inning plus save. He had the big out in the 8th inning. Pitching to Pete Orr with the bases loaded.
And the strikeout.
Well, this is a little preemptive player of the game. Ryan Franklin's got more work to do, but that out that he got to end the 8th inning was huge, and 2 quick outs here in the 9th inning, and it brings the Busch Stadium faithful to their feet.
Franklin going for save number 35, facing Willie Harris. Harris is 0 for 4 this afternoon. 0 for ball 1. Two and 0. And a strike. A sea of red here at the stadium. Fans on their feet. Here's the 2-2. Fly ball into center field. Ankiel is out there. Comes on to make the play. The Redbirds are now 77 and 55. 22 games over. Franklin gets save number 35. Wainwright win number 16. And the Redbirds are 10 games up in the National League Central.